Welcome back to Aeon's End. We are playing with Mist and Zahanna, trying to take down the Rageborne. He's currently at 40 health, which sounds like a lot, actually, now that I think about it. Gravehold itself has gone from 30 hit points down to 15. Both Mist and Zahanna are at 5, which is half of their health. All right, let's get into it. We're going to do shuffle the turn order deck. Of course, there are 2 player 1 cards, 2 Nemesis, and 2 player 2s. All right, shuffled up, and let's find out who is going to go first. And that would be player 2. So Zahanna will be up first. Let's go to her area and have her take her turn. All right, with Zahanna, she has no prepared spells, so we're going to go right into the playing the card phase. She has a crystal, another crystal. She has a leeching agate, gem, and a spark. So she will prep her spark spell into open breach number 3, and she basically has 2, 3, 4, 5 to spend. 5 to spend, and I think she's going to take 2 of it right now, and she is going to get a charge. She's fully loaded now, which means she can activate her special ability. 1, 2, 3, with 3 left. With 3 left, I think. Well, no, hang on. We're going to do this in the right order, of course. So 2 is to fully charge her ability. Then, because you can do anything in any order you want. So she's going to use her Sanctum Glyph, activate during your main phase, which is now. Gravehold gains 7 life. So she's going to spend all of her charges to activate that. Gravehold's going to get back 7 life. It's going to go from 15 pumped right back up to 22. So that's much, much healthier looking now for Gravehold. And now, with 1, 2, 3 left, she will buy the last leeching agate, which is when you gain this, you gain a charge. So she doing this in the proper order, she's going to gain 1 charge. That will give her 2 when it shows up. And then she can put these back into her hand in any order. So we may as well put them in that order. We're flipping her deck over, and she gets 5 cards. 3, 4, 5 for her next turn. So let's have a look and see what she gets. She has the Searing Ruby, the Mage's Talisman, Leeching Agate, Amplify Spell, and a Eternal Ember. So good, good, and more good. All right, that was player 2, Zahanna. That was her turn. Didn't deal any damage, but healed Gravehold for 7. All right, let's go back to the turn order and see who's up next. All right, back to the turn order. Who is up next? Player 1. All right, so up next is going to be Mist. So let's go over to Mist's area and have her take her turn. Right, Mist has a couple of prepped spells, so she's going to cast her spells right now. Gee, I wonder who we're going to attack. She has a spark in breach number 3, which is +1 damage, so that's going to be 1 damage, so 2 damage. And then she's going to cast Devouring Shadow, which is cast, deal 3 damage, 4 damage. So that's a total of 6 damage she's just doled out. Let's go do 6 damage to the Rageborne. All right, 6 damage to the Rageborne. He's sitting at 40 health. Not anymore. We have just knocked him down to 36. He's still over halfway from where he started, but 36, much better than 70. All right, let's go back to Mist. She's going to play her cards now. All right, it's time to play her cards. And if I recall, she has a lot of spells. She has Spark, Amplify Vision, Oblivion Swell. She's going to prep the Oblivion Swell into Breach 3, Amplify Vision into Breach 4, Breach 3, and the 2 Sparks in Breach 1 and 2. Which leaves her one crystal left, which really is not going to do anything for her. Oh, hang on. While prepped, you gain 1 ether during your main phase. So she actually has a total of 2 ether. Yep. She's going to gain a charge. Discards her cards in any order. There they go. And she is loaded for bear on her next turn. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And she gets a crystal, garnet shard, Searing Ruby, and Oblivion Swell. Oh, this combination is excellent. All right, I think we're doing okay, but Famous last words. All right, let's go back now again to turn order and see who's going to get to play next. And of course, the Nemesis hasn't even gone yet this round, which is getting a little bit frightening. All right, let's see who's going to go next. And player 1 again. Oh my word. This is going to be fun. All right, we're going back to Mist. Mist has a absolute mountain of spells prepared. There's no minions to hit, so all damage is going to be directed right at the Rageborne. Let's see how much damage we can create with Mist. All right, this should be pretty good. Now we want to do this, I think, in the order so that these spells will come up sooner rather than later. We will start with the Oblivion. Okay, to do the Oblivion Swell, we need a gem from hand, and we're going to use this gem. So this is in her hand. So let's take a look at Oblivion Swell once again. When prepped, you gain whatever. We're not going to worry about that because we're doing the casting. Deal 2 damage. You may discard a gem. If you do, deal additional damage equal to its cost. So we're now turn order a little bit. I think you cast the spell and then you discard the gem. This gem's worth 4, so this is going to do 6 damage plus 1 for being on Open Breach 4. 7 damage. All right, 7 damage and counting. And this one deals 4 damage. 2 plus 1 if all your breaches open, plus 1. So 7 and 4 is 11 damage. 12 damage for that spark. 13 damage. Wow. So Mist just doled out 13 damage. Let's go and pound on the Rageborne. Feeling pretty confident at this point in time, but yeah, you just don't know. You don't know. 13 damage. That's going to take the Rageborne from 36 down to 23. Wow, that's less, or just about the same amount of hit points as Gravehold. 23 down the Rageborne. That is excellent. Back to Mist to play her cards. And of course the Rageborne hasn't even gone yet this turn, so it may end up getting 2 turns in a row, which could be very, very painful for us. But now it's time for Mist to play her cards. Well, gee, once again, we're going to play Oblivion Swell. And we could have played this to cast it, but we don't have another gem to cast it with. So I think, you know, we're going to hang on to this card. We're going, oh, this is awesome. We're going to spend these 2 for 2 ether to give us 1 more charge. Now we are fully charged. But we're going to hang on to this card. We're not even going to play it. So that's going to be part of her hand when we draw up. So basically I'm going to discard these 2 because that's going to be all cards played. We are going to use her charge, which is Divine Augury. Activate during your main phase, which is now. Any ally draws 4 cards. So by playing all of the charges, we've done this, which means Zahana gets to draw 4 more cards. Let's go over to Zahana and have her draw 4 extra cards. All right, here we are with Zahana. She has her hand already of all kinds of awesome things. She gets to draw 4 more cards. A crystal for 1. Oh, Disintegrating Scythe 2. A Devouring Shadow 3, and another one. Oh my god. Oblivion Swell 4. So this is her hand for next time. Absolutely jam-packed with goodness. All right, back to Mist to end off her turn. And we're ending off Mist's turn. Again, she's going to hang on to the Garnet Shard. And so we're going to have to draw up to 5 cards. Flips her deck over, and she's going to get 4 more cards for her next turn. Leeching Agate, a Crystal, and a Spark. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. So we're going to put that into her, that's her play area there. And that's going to be the end of Mist's turn. All right, back to turn order, and we're going to see who goes next. Most likely will be the Nemesis. All right, turn order. The likelihood of the Nemesis coming up next, pretty high, but you never know. Oh my god, player 2. All right. Player 2 gets to play, but let's keep this in perspective. The end of this episode, which is going to mean the Nemesis is going to go 2 times in a row. So we have done a lot of damage. It's Zahana's turn, but I don't know what the Nemesis is going to have in store for us at the end. Ouch. All right, let's go over to Zahana and play her turn. Well, Zahana's prep spell, she has Spark. So it's worth 2 damage. So she's going to cast it, of course. We're going to go do 2 more damage to the Rageborne. All right, 2 more damage to the Rageborne, going from 20 hit points down to 21. It's a far cry from 70. So we're doing a pretty good job. All right, back to Zahana. She has an absolute mountain of cards to play. Let's see what she's going to do. Zahana has a hand that is just chock full of goodness. As far as spells go, she's going to prep, well, of course, yeah, she's going to prep the Disintegrating Scythe into Open Breach 4. She is going to prep the Oblivion Swell into Open Breach 3, and then she wants to put the Eternal Ember, prep that spell in Open Breach 1. Okay, with all of that said, she still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. She will play the Mage's Talisman, so she's going to gain 1 charge, and Mist will gain a charge. So she's going to get 2 charges loaded up, and we're going to go over to Mist. Mist will gain a charge as well. So by Zahana playing the Mage's Talisman, Mist also gains a charge. So loading up again, back over to Zahana to keep playing her cards. Zahana will keep playing her cards now. She can't prep any more spells because she doesn't have any more open breaches. So these two are just going to have to hang off in the wind for a while. Excuse me. But we have the Searing Ruby, we have the Crystal, we have the Crystal. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5. What do we want to do with this? Do we want to get more spells? Boy, I don't even know if we need any more spells. We have so many. I think we're going to use 2, 3, 4. I think we're going to spend 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to play all of our... Oh, no, we don't want to. We want to keep the 4 because we want to cast Oblivion Swell. Actually, we want to keep the 4 and 3. We may just want to keep all of these cards. Well, hang on. Oblivion Swell. While prepped, you gain 1 ether this phase. So 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. That's going to give her a charge. She's going to hang on to these 4 cards because they're awesome and they're really good for what she wants to do. And so that's basically the end of her playing cards. She's going to discard these in any order, so she'll discard them in that order. And then she's going to draw up to 5 cards. So she will just be drawing 1 more card into her hand. And that's going to be the end of her turn. So this is going to be her hand for the next time she gets to play. All right, and now, oh my God, we're going to be going back to the turn order. And we know what's going to happen. All right, it's turn order time. Gee, there's only 2 cards left, and player 1 and player 2 have already gone twice each. Guess what that means? Yes, we know. Nemesis. Twice in a row at the end. All right, at least there's no cards out here to activate yet. That's good, but we have to draw a Nemesis card, and it is Power. To discard, oh, it's power 1. Oh my God, which means it's going to trigger. 2 discard, destroy 2 prep spells that each cost 3. Well, we're not even going to get the chance. Power 1 is unleashed 3 times, so that just comes into play with 1 charge on it. And now that's the end of the Nemesis turn. Well, gee, that sounded good, but and of course the end of the turn, we don't have 4 charges on here, so a strike's not going to happen. That's the end of the Nemesis turn. Yay. But, yep, back to turn order. And we know what this is. It's the Nemesis going again. And so what happens is there was only 1 charge on here. The 1 charge comes off, which means, bam, it happens. So we're going to unleash 3 times. And you're saying, well, that's not so bad. Well, it's not so bad, except it pumps our Fury up to 4, because for every unleash adds a Fury token. We're now at 4 Fury. It's now the end of the Nemesis turn, which again doesn't sound so bad until you read this. At the end of the Nemesis turn, if the Rageborne has 4 or more Fury tokens, he strikes once. So we're going to take the strike deck, and we're going to do our best to try to shuffle it without dropping cards on the ground, and whatever. Okay, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And what do we get hit with this time? Seize. The players collectively discard the 2 most expensive prepped spells. That causes us grief. Well, okay, we have to do it. The players collectively discard the 2 most expensive prepped spells. Actually, that's not as bad as you think. We're going to go over to Zahana's area, because she's going to... Well, we don't have to go anywhere, actually. Obviously, the most expensive prep spell is the 7. This just gets discarded, and there's nothing we can do about it, so it just does not happen. The other option is Mist has an Oblivion spell prepped, so does Zahanna. But Zahanna has the Eternal Ember, which lets her cast Oblivion spell like twice in a row on her turn. So we're going to discard the Oblivion spell, which is a 5, from Mist. So Mist basically has no spells prepped. But that wasn't such a bad hit from the Rageborne, I don't think. I think we got away pretty lucky there since he went twice in a row. Oh, and of course, you read through, you shuffle the strike deck, blah, 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 and this loses 3 Fury tokens. It's back down to 1. All right, so I'm going to shuffle this, and at the beginning of the next episode, I will shuffle these again, so you know I'm not cooking the deck. All right, let's have a recap here. We have Mist down to 5 health out of 10. We have Zahanna 5 health out of 10. The Rageborne down to 21 hit points. I'm feeling confident we're going to smack him around. Gravehold up to 22 hit points because of Zahanna's special ability, giving Gravehold 7 life when she spends her Sanctum Glyph, when all of her charges are full. So I think overall I'm pretty confident we're going to do okay. So thanks so much for watching along. This is Aeon's End. We're playing against the Rageborne. And yeah, we're doing, I think, pretty good. So thanks for your subscriptions, your comments, your likes. Really appreciate it. Join me next time for the continuation of Aeon's End against the Rageborne.